got tired of watching people install optimization mods and turn Minecraft into a 20 FPS slideshow, even on decent hardware. So I did the opposite. For months, I threw out every single mod that even slightly tanked my FPS. In the end, I got a Minecraft with no lags, no stutters, that holds FPS where everyone else's game just suffocates. And right now, I'm going to show you not just a list of mods, but a working build and the logic behind it, so you can build your own. But here's the problem. If you think you can just throw these mods into your game, you'll kill your FPS. First, you need to break a few myths about Minecraft, and these myths are costing you all your performance. Once upon a time, I had the perfect mod pack. Beautiful, packed with mods that everyone was screaming about. In reality, I enter the world, take 3 steps, turn the camera, and the game just falls apart. Stutters, 30 FPS, lag on every move. I sit there, look at it, and think, okay, either I figure out right now why Minecraft runs like garbage, or I just delete it from my drive. And that's where the entire story Okay, let's start with what actually matters. The first mod I add to every mod pack without exception, Bobby. Bobby does one thing, but does it like a genius. It keeps chunks loaded way further than vanilla allows. And here's what's insane. Your FPS doesn't drop at all. I can push render distance to 128 chunks and see massive landscapes from far away. It's like playing a completely different game. Next is entity view distance. This is a hidden problem nobody sees. Minecraft spends cycles rendering mobs that are completely out of your view. A creeper underground 10 blocks away, Minecraft renders it. A zombie in the next chunk blocked by a mountain renders it. It's insane, absolutely insane. Entity view distance just says, listen, if a mob is farther than X blocks away, don't render it. You set the distance, say 64 blocks, and everything beyond just gets ignored. A creeper screaming at you from behind a mountain 5 chunks away. Minecraft doesn't even bother rendering it. And then there's entity culling, the smart cousin. Instead of just checking distance, it asks, can the player actually see this? Entity behind a wall, don't render it. Entity underground, don't render it. Entity inside a block. How is that even possible? But don't render it anyway. Result. You get 30 to 40% of your processor cycles back. 30, 40%, that's not nothing. And it instantly boosts your FPS, and it only gets better from here. By block 3, you start to realize Minecraft was broken from the start. After Bobby, entity view distance, and entity culling, I entered my world for the first time in a long time, and nothing fell apart. I cranked up render distance, ran around, turned the camera, and the game didn't turn into a slideshow. That was the first moment I was like, wait, we could do this the whole time. But the joy didn't last long. I went to my farms and hell broke loose. Particles, entities, micro stutters. FPS exists, but the game feels jerky. That's when I realized there was another invisible enemy. The thing that kills the game even when FPS seems fine. Particles and micro stutters. 90% of players don't know this basic thing about Minecraft. Every particle the game creates, it renders, even if you can't see it, even if it's underground, even if it's 10 chunks away, even if it's inside a block and it's physically impossible to see. Minecraft still draws it. It's like paying salaries to people who aren't working. You don't see the results, but the money goes out. Particle Core is your cleanup service. It cuts out invisible particles. It makes sense, but nobody thinks about it. On a farm with 1,000 entities and particle spam, you go from impossible to play to, oh, this is smooth, really smooth. Second part, stutter fix. You ever notice your game freezes for 100 milliseconds at random and you don't know why? It's because Minecraft overloads one thread while the others sit idle. Stutter fix helps distribute the load better. It won't make you faster by magic, but it'll eliminate those awful freezes. And if you add concurrent chunk management engine, a mod that optimizes chunk generation and loading itself, your game will stop freezing every time you enter a new area. That's the difference between smooth gameplay and okay, I see what's happening, but it's so annoying that everything freezes. At this stage, I had a weird situation. On my test world, everything was perfect. On my actual bases, something still broke. I spent a day, 2 days, a week just running around my woods, seeing where exactly the game dies. And almost every time it happened after a couple hours of playing, even with optimization. That's when I understood one simple thing. This isn't about mods anymore. This is about how insanely hard Minecraft devours RAM. And that's when memory management comes into play and how to handle it properly. The second biggest problem I see, RAM. People allocate RAM to Minecraft and then forget about it. After 4 hours, the game is using 9 gigabytes of garbage data, cache that's been building up. The whole system suffocates. Speed drops from 144 to 20 FPS. Here's my rule that works. Allocated RAM is a minimum, not a maximum. If all you do is play Minecraft, you can give half your RAM. 16 GB, give 8, no problem. But if, like me, you work in parallel, 40 browser tabs, Discord, an editor, sometimes Premiere Pro, allocate only what the Modpack developer recommends. For me, it's usually 5 to 6 GB. That's enough for a serious Modpack and doesn't kill the rest of the system. But the key thing, you need memreduct. It's a small program that clears garbage from your RAM while you play. Run it every hour. Result? Instead of, I play for 3 hours and then FPS drops in half, you get stable FPS all day. Without it, Minecraft fills your RAM with garbage like crazy. With it, stability, beauty. When I set up RAM properly with memreduct, the game finally stopped turning into a swamp after a couple hours. And that's when another thought hit me. All these mods I'm installing, they're basically cleaning up after Minecraft. But there's one thing that needed to be fixed first. If the render itself is broken and bloated, all the other optimizations are just propping up a crooked wall with sticks. So next, I tackled the most painful part, the renderer, and that's where the sodium story begins. Now that mods are cleaning up the garbage, it's time to tackle the renderer itself. This is where Sodium and Sodium Extra change everything, literally everything. Sodium is just insane. It rewrites Minecraft's entire render pipeline from scratch. You install it, restart, and check. Was 60 FPS. Now 120 FPS. No extra mods, no magic. Just a rewritten renderer that Mojang should have made 10 years ago.
This is not an exaggeration.
I've seen 40 to 60% gains right out of the box. Then comes Sodium Extra. It's an add-in that unlocks graphics settings vanilla never gave you. You can turn off fancy foliage, pretty but heavy, extra particles, unnecessary visual effects, all sorts of broken renders that exist in vanilla. After that, you take base Sodium plus Extra, and that becomes your foundation. Everything else is optional. After installing Sodium and Sodium Extra, I saw numbers I never expected to see in Minecraft. Where there used to be 60, now 120. Where it used to lag, now just smooth. And once base FPS stopped being a problem, I had space for a different question. Okay, what if I make the game not just fast, but actually nice? And that's where mods that look like cheats come in. Not because they break the game, but because it finally works the way it should. These are exactly the fixes that sometimes look suspicious. This is where it gets weird and interesting. Some mods aren't about optimization or new features. They just fix what should have worked from the start. Like smart block placement. What does it do? It speeds up block placement. You place blocks faster. That's it. But it works so smoothly that another player on my server literally ran up and asked, "Are you cheating?" I said, "No, just a mod." He didn't believe me. In public servers, you can get kicked for this. On some, even banned, because it's too good for a public server. But if it's your server or single player, it just saves hours of your life during building. And that's when I realized sometimes cheating is just quality of life. If a mod doesn't give you an unfair advantage over others and doesn't break the economy, why not use it? Now that everything is optimized, we can finally care about convenience. Shulker box. Tooltip. Hover over a shulker box and see its contents without opening it. Sounds minimal? It saves hours of life. Screenshot to clipboard. Screenshot goes straight to your clipboard. For content creators, it's absolutely essential. Zero's world map. An actual world map instead of vanilla garbage. Mouse tweaks. Fast inventory management. You won't believe how much time this saves. Mod menu, a menu for mods where you can tweak them without restarting. Here's what's important to understand. These mods don't give you FPS. They give you something way more valuable, hours of your life. They just make the game 10 times less annoying. When all these little things came together, I felt something completely different about the game. Not, I'm testing a mod pack. Not, I'm optimizing a system. Just, I'm playing. And only then did it make sense to add beauty. Because before that, any pretty shader felt like a slap in the face. Yes, it's beautiful, but at the cost of my nerves and FPS. But once you have the foundation, you can finally treat yourself to aesthetics. And that's when I finally added visual mods that don't destroy all that work. And only after everything is optimized and convenient do we add visual mods. Because there's no point having a beautiful Minecraft if it lags. LM dynamic lights. Dynamic lighting that doesn't kill performance. Torches actually light the road instead of being decoration. Continuity, connected textures, and glass without black borders. The world looks whole instead of a checkerboard. 3D skin layers. The second layer of player skins becomes 3D instead of flat and weird. Presence, footsteps and ambience. Realistic footstep and ambient sounds. It's immersion without system load. That's exactly what we need. Light particle mods like visuality add detail without killing FPS. I actually removed several heavy visual mods from old builds because the 10-20 FPS drop wasn't worth the beauty. Here everything is at once, beautiful and optimized. At some point, I just stopped, flew over my base and realized this isn't the Minecraft I started with. That one was slow, broken, filled with garbage. This one, fast, smooth, beautiful, and doesn't drain my brain. And the funny part, I didn't get here because I found the perfect build on CoastForge. I got here because I spent 3 months throwing out everything unnecessary. And there it is, my perfect Minecraft. No lags, no stutters, comfortable to play, beautiful. If you have your own mod pack you want to optimize, write in the comments. Maybe I can help you find the problems. But here's the thing that should interest you. This is my conservative build. Stable, optimized, perfect for survival and peaceful building. What if I go in a completely different direction? What if I take every mod that completely breaks Minecraft's balance, mods crazier than what I showed you today, and see if it even works? I already have an idea for the next video, and I'm gonna be honest, it's going to be insane. Subscribe, because the next mod I find will kill even your perfect system. This is going to be wild.